Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clarepoint podcast with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, shway, crispy, irie? The weather outside's been absolutely shit, horrible, but you know what it is. I'm here to come here and spice up your life like the Spice Girls song. Every boy and every girl, spice up your life in the middle of the world, spice up your life in the middle of the world, spice up your life. Oh, anyways, you know, all of that. But let's get on to what we're here for, which is the podcasting. All of them ting them there that's going down. If you're feeling this episode or any of the previous episodes on the channel, you know what to do. All of that below. Big yourselves up one time if you're a first time listener or a seasoned listener. But let's get on to this, the Clarepoint podcast. We're going to come to something new that we have not done here on the podcast before, which is I like to call the ding ding ding, ding ding ding. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? So it's generally the scenarios, you know what I mean? So awkward moments, basically, what would I do in those moments of awkwardness? Or what would you do? Do you know what I mean? Still, either way, you can answer the questions if you want to, put your comments below on that one, or you can keep it to yourself. But let's get on to the first one we've got here. So you guys, or my girl, whoever I choose, if I do have one, but I don't, literally. There's no girl in my life right now. She's out of my life. Ding, 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 ding. But yeah, let's get on to it. So, for example, I could just choose a girl that I'm seeing potentially down the line. She forgets to remove the price tag on their new clothing. So what would I do in that moment of awkwardness? Obviously, we'll have to turn back around. Do you know what I mean? Like the Fats and Small song. Gotta turn around. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, what's wrong with you? You're looking kind of silly to me. Do you know what I mean? Because she's obviously forgot to remove the price tag on her clothing. We got to turn around, you know what I mean, and go back into the shop and make sure she gets that corrected. But even before we probably walked out the shop, the buzzer should have sounded. Now, sometimes if the buzzer don't sound, you're probably likely to walk along, you know what I mean, and try your ting and get away with it. See, you're meddling kids and all that, and Scooby-Doo stuff. What's new, Scooby-Doo? Gunning after you, gonna battle history, all of that. But the buzzer should go off. But I've had a situation once, yeah, and listen, I'm not going to tell a lie here, where I've bought a shirt before from a shop, not going to name the name. I've walked out of the store thinking, it's all cushy, I've bought the ting, it's fine. But they forgot to take the tag off the clothing. So I've obviously walked out of the shop, gone home with that tag still on. And then when I've gone to try the shirt on, I felt something hit me in the side, some kind of hard thing. It smacked me in the side a little. Oh, what's going on here? So I've looked and I've seen the tag at the bottom. I was like, oh no. Tina, what are we going to do here? Can't do anything about that. Do you know what I mean? If you go back to the shop, they'll probably think you thieved it. Do you know what I mean? But eventually, we stupidly, and this is we, you know what I mean, me and the sis, we stupidly decided to try and take the tag off. Now, you know this tag thing, you need two magnets to pull them apart. We didn't really have a magnet. We tried to use a knife, didn't work. We tried to use this one, didn't work. We tried to use that, didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. And that one didn't work. So we were trying different things. It was like a science project to us, but a science project gone wrong because at the end of it, the shirt ripped. Do you know what I mean? So we ended up looking like idiots. Do you know what I mean? But it got taken back to the shop. Unfortunately, we fought a good case and they gave us a refund, thankfully. They were kind enough to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because on another day, they would have said, no chance. Get out of here. Do you know what I mean? Singing the whole theme song and that. No chance, but that's what you got. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is there. Do you know what I mean? We got away with one. You know what I mean? Thanks to them meddling kids and all that. But it is what it is. I would say to the people there, don't try that. You know what I mean? If it happens, go back into the shop and try to change it. If you have the receipt on you, then do that. If you know a man from the ends or somewhere, do you know what I mean? Back alley and that, just so you hook man up with the, you know, taking the ting off and that. But that's if you know people like that. If you don't, then don't bother. Take it back. The Shakira song. Don't bother. Just don't. Take it back. But anyways, let's move on to the next scenario. So my end thoughts on that is take it back to the shop. Do you know what I mean? she's done a madness. We're taking it back to the shop. Obviously she's got, let's say, the receipt on her. She ain't got the receipt. We're trying to do a ting in it. We're trying to see a man at a back alley and see if he can try and, unhook the ting and get it off for us. But anyways, still, let's move forward to the next one. It's going to do it. There we go. Boom. Okay. So let's say my girl accidentally spills food or drink on someone they have a crush on, or person of your choice. Well, I didn't say girl. Let's say I do. Me, myself. I actually spill food or drink on a girl I have a crush on. That's a bit peak. But then I'm offering to take her home to dry her out. Do you know what I mean? Oh, if I take you home, would you still be in love, baby? Do you know what I mean? Trust me. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing could lead to another. Not in them terms there, but it could lead to me getting the number, potentially taking her out down the line. You know what I mean? Helping her get over the fact that I did spill crap on her. Obviously, it could end up with me getting a slap. Do you know what I mean? The kick in the nuts and that. Do you know what I mean? Forgive me nots, not the Patricia Rushton song. You know what I mean? Forgive me nots, let me remember. I'm getting kicked in the nuts, and then she started me in the eye, and then she's off. Do you know what I mean? Saying, fuck that son of a bitch who threw that drink on me, that pussy. That's what she's probably going to think. But if I have an actual chance to try and tell the girl what's going on and all that, sorry, miss, could take you to my place. Do you know what I mean? Like the Jaheim song, come on over to my place, my place, my place. Sit yourself down and take a seat. Let me ease your mind, girl. Do you know what I mean? So I want to ease her mind, obviously, after spilling some food and drink on her. Do you know what I mean? But I'll have to pay for her meal again, I guess, if it fell on her stuff. But if it was my food, it's peak. If it's chicken, it's peak. You know how much I love chicken. So if my chicken and chips, Morley's or something, other, just say, shops are available in terms of getting fast food and that. But if my Morley's fell on her lap or fell somewhere all over her, it's peak for man. I mean, that was man's dinner. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit vexed, but I'll be okay if I end up getting the number from her. Taking her to my home, cleaning her up nicely, and then sending her on her way. See, with my number intact for me to call her down the line, see if she got home okay, or potentially taking her to her house. Do you know what I mean? Seeing if I can also, ease her mind when she's at home and that. Do you know what I mean? All of them thing them there. But it is what it is. These things happen sometimes. They're accidental. If she doesn't see it as an accident, then I'm getting a slap in it. And you know what I mean? As I said, kicking the nuts and then the thud in the eye. It's the Ric Flair stuff. Woo! Do you know what I mean? All of that's going to happen to me. So it is what it is. But it will be a bit embarrassing, you know what I mean, to spill some drink and some food on her, you know, especially if there's a whole load of stuff that's going on, a whole load of stuff, believe me. So it's going to look mad. But anyways, you just try to take her home, clean her up, and pay for damages if you need to pay for damages. She's got Louis Vuitton and all them expensive type, man can't pay for that. Do you know, tell us and I'll help to do the dry cleaning for you and take it to, the launderettes and that to help you clean it up. But I ain't going as far as trying to replace or repay you for one of them that's been mashed up. Do you know what I mean? You just put it in the washing machine and get it sorted. I can pay for that. Do you know what I mean? £3 ting, you know what I mean? £5 ting, you know what I mean? Usual round my ends, it's about £5 to £8 together to dry, clean and all that. With also the getting it heated and them ting them there, all of that. But anyways, that's my thoughts on that. So let's go to a last one. What we got here is the character gets a severe sunburn and peels in an awkward place. Okay, so let's say my sister gets a severe sunburn, peels in an awkward place. It's peak. Obviously, I'll try to help with creams and that, see what she needs in terms of creams. Try to get her into a place where it's cool, some water on her potentially to keep her calm. And yeah, some creams, oils, them sort of things to help get rid of the sunburn and make her feel at ease. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it's going to burn, it's going to not feel nice. Do you know what I mean? You're going to do the itchy and scratchy stuff. You know, itchy and scratchy, all of that. And obviously I don't want her to be to the point where it gets so severe in that. So of course, I'll be someone that's likely to say, hey, you need some creams, you need this, what do you need? I'll have to play night nurse at that point in time. Night nurse, ding ding ding, all in your alone can quench the thirst, all of that. So that's just only my thoughts on that. But yeah, I think we've come to the end of this. Hold on, let me see. Timing wise. Check please. Alright, we'll have one more. Alright, the character alters a culturing. Let's rewind that. Rewind. When the crowd says ball, selector. The character alters a cultural item, resulting in a poor imitation of the original. I'm trying to get my brain to take all this information in right now. As I said, blinded by the lights, literally like the street song. Literally, lights are blinding my eyes. All of that. You know what I mean? So, also is a crucial result in the poor imitation there. Oh, so you get a knockoff basically. So you buy something from, let's say, East Street Market or something, and you're trying to pass it off as like the real version. So listen, if you buy something that's fake, let's say obviously my sister or whatever, she bought something that's fake, I'd obviously say to her, listen, it doesn't look right. You may want to check that again. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't look great. Because if you're buying an Adidas and there's 2 D's in the Adidas, then there's something going on wrong here. If you're buying Adidas and there's only 2 stripes in the Adidas, then there's something really going on wrong here. If you bought a Puma and it doesn't say Puma, instead of a U, it has an O in there, then there's definitely something going on wrong here. You know what I mean? Just check it. Check it before you wreck it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Check it before you wreck it. You know what I mean? Because some people, it's cool going out in gear that some people wouldn't get or wouldn't understand. But if it's a poor imitation, you're going to get called out for it. What are those? People be saying, what are those? Do you know what I mean? You'll be looking like a fool with your pants on the ground there because you've walked out the house and you thought this imitation can get me through here, but the imitation hasn't gotten you through. It's made you look like even more of a dumbass. Do you know what I mean? Because the people know exactly what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? It's like the Lily Allen song, The Fear and that. I don't know what's right and what's real anymore. But they know. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things. You just have to make sure that when you're buying some knockoffs, some fakes, check it. Make sure it looks like the real thing when you're pouring it off, or you can end up getting parred. Do you know what I mean? You can end up looking like an absolute dickhead. So you've got to make sure that you sort all that out. So yeah. And that's what I think on that. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the D's? And that's it for this part of the here we go yo, here we go yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go yo, here we go yo. So what's the scenario? So hopefully the scenario will be back down the line. But for now, that was the scenario. We move on now to talk some Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 has come out and is available on the Netflix for the people out there who are watching. So the people who haven't watched Cobra Kai before, it starts off with obviously some kids, don't know much, probably are, let's say, rejects, not really popular in school. And they use karate as a form to, let's say, enhance themselves, make themselves be better at life, and all of them choices there. So, you know what I mean? In terms of obviously Season 6 now, Part 2, I found it to be much better than Part 1, that's for certain, because the action was there. I enjoyed the tournament fight scenes that happened. I thought they were brilliant. I know a lot of people were a bit upset by the fact that, how do I put this in terms without trying to spoil it? There was a lot of clusterfuck moments that went on in terms of where it just seemed maybe it was a bit disingenuous from like the start of how Cobra Kai kind of started out to where it is now. But I feel like it's gone leaps and bounds. Certain things do need to change, and they're probably seen it as they tried to make it as more of like an anime sort of thing where certain characters were portraying that kind of anime type of stance and that role and that, you want to try and fight me? I'm here. Let's go, motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things where probably a lot of people saw that and went, yeah, this isn't really doing what it needs to do. Cobra Kai started off as like authentic, and from the start when you're getting these fight scenes, these were novices. Now you're getting people jumping in that, like, you know what I mean? So doing all the madness and stuff and doing all flips and tricks and all of these sort of things. But I enjoyed it. As I said, for me, I'm an action guy. You put some good action on, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? I found it to be a lot better, obviously, than part 1 of season 6. So that's just where I'm going with that. I just found it to be better. I enjoyed the foul fight scenes. I enjoyed the whole competition of the Sakai Tagai. I don't know if I said that correct, but hopefully I did. I didn't butcher that one, like Pat. You know what I mean? But it's good to see that this show has a great following and that people respect the terms, and it can cause some controversy in terms of that. Listen, there was unexpected twists there. Some of them that I was a bit startled by, and I was thinking, oh, raw. Do you know what I mean? We thought it to go that way, and it went the other way. So I like twists in that, and I like the fact that they were twists in the tales of part 2. So I look forward to see what happens in part 3. And that's just me summarising it. I was happy by it, thought it was better than part 1, and let's wait to see what happens in part 3. Cool. Nothing more, nothing less to say on that, but for me, if I had to give part 2 a rating, it gets a much better rating than, I'll give it about, let's say it's close to an 8. I'll give it an 8, just exactly. I think it's better than part 1, season 6. So part 2, season 6 will get an 8 from me. And that's it. So what do you guys think of Cobra Kai? You can put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. With that, we're going to move forward now to talk the Premier League. So let's get on to that. If this phone does allow me this time to get through to it. But before that, let's get on to the theme. So the Premier League. Excuse me. A lot of wind is coming up now. Not just mean the wind outside. I mean, it's come from inside and all that. Yeah, I mean, man's only had a bit of water today. People say, well, you haven't eaten anything, Randy. What's wrong with you? This man doesn't get enough sleep to just think about eating stuff and all that. So you're trying to watch your figure, and I've told you I'm happy with, you know, the pudginess and the stomach and that. Pudgy, you know, is the way to go at times. You know what I mean? I'm a pudgy. You know what I mean? All of that. Whatever. I tried to make it rhyme, but it probably failed there. But it is what it is, miserably. But let's go. Let's try and get these things up and see what I go on here. All right, we are on, I believe, match day 12. So let's get on to match day 12 and my thoughts on match day 12. All right, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. And I'll sing the scenario song again. Here we go. All right, let's do the voice and get this over and done with. Match day 12. Leicester City 1, Chelsea 2. Fulham 1, Wolves 4. Everton 0, Brentford 0. Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 2. Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace 2. Man City 0, Tottenham 4. Southampton 2, Liverpool 3. Ipswich Town 1, Man United 1. Newcastle and West Ham are to play today at 8 p.m. There's only 15 minutes left to go, so there's no point in me predicting that scoreline. But if I was to predict, that came from nowhere, literally did. But if I was to predict, I'm going to go Newcastle win. Say a 2-1 win to Newcastle. And that's how I think Lopetegui's getting fired. I think, didn't I predict this one? But anyways, whatever. So my thoughts. It's a good result for Wolves. Wolves going to Fulham and winning 4-1. No one probably expected that to happen. Cunha, twice on the score sheet. It's good for him. He's in my fantasy team, so it's good to see him racking up some goals in that. But not just for my fantasy team, but in good terms for Wolves on that. Chelsea winning 2-1. Listen, standard as usual for them. I mean, Leicester City, let's be honest there, their manager got fired, didn't they? But it is what it is. we wait and see what's going to happen down the line. I don't think that Leicester would find a way out of this hole. I think the new manager bounce probably could happen, but you never know. Leicester are just one of them teams that probably for me are quite favourites to go back down. I think Vardy's aging. They haven't really got that, to really get them over the line anymore. Aging Vardy, it's not good for business, is it? So Everton Brentford, I didn't bother with that game. I didn't watch it. So personally, 0-0, ball draw, whatever. Everton are one of them teams, and Brentford, two teams I expect to be down the bottom, trying to battle it out at the bottom there. Arsenal winning 3-0 against Nottingham Forest. It's a good result for Arsenal. I wasn't really confident with this game going into it. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way, if people didn't know, first-time watchers. I'm an Arsenal fan. So it's one of them things where I was pleased to see us win convincingly. You know what I mean? Get over the line and win. You know what I mean? And that was the big thing for me, because I think past performances, we haven't looked great. But this was, we came into this and we looked confident. We looked raring to go. Green light and all that. Andre 3000 and that. Give me the green light. Give me just one night. Ready to go right now. We were ready to go. Do you know what I mean? So it was good to see us win 3-0. I hope to see us do better in our next game and even more improve on that. Probably one criticism, I would have liked us to go for the jugular, kill them off and scored even more goals. Because right now, goals are very important. Even in this top four battle, if we are in a top four, if we are in a top 3, 2, whatever, I still don't think we're going to win the title. But they are important probably towards the end of the season in terms of getting us higher up in the table and whatnot. So, it's good to see, obviously, Ethan Nwaneri come on and get his goal as well. Big up to Ethan Nwaneri, 17 years old, scored, assisted by Raheem Sterling. Brilliant goal as well by Thomas Partey. So absolute banger of a goal, as well as Saka. So it's good to see us getting those goals. I would like to see a lot more of that, though. That's just me just being greedy, but I want to see us turn up and dominate even more. But I'm happy for Nwaneri. Congratulations to him, being the second youngest Arsenal scorer of all time. Proud for him in the Premier League. So big up to him for that one. All right, Brighton held on to win 2-1 against Bournemouth. It's a brilliant result for Brighton away from home. So good for them. Villa, Palace 2-2. Didn't really watch the game, but I saw a bit of the highlights. It was a good result. Palace away from home getting a draw. When they were behind and came back. So good result for them. Tottenham 4-0 win. City, we didn't see this one coming, did we? I think a lot of us probably predicted that City were going to bounce back and score. But this is out to Haaland, you piece of crap. Do you know what I mean? You deserve this, you fool. We're talking about stay humbler, fool. How about you now check your facts and stay crumbling? That's what you should be doing, like Apple. Stay crumbling, you bitch. That's what you deserve, talking shit. You know what I mean? Fuck you and Man City. You know what I mean? Them mans deserve to get relegated, as I said before. Fuck Man City. Because these mans out here doing all these charges and racking them up. You know what I mean? Like them in parallel parking in the wrong spot. You know what I mean? You deserve all you get for being pussy-os. Do you know what I mean? So you deserve it. Fuck you, Man City. Long may it continue. You know what I mean? As I said, if we don't win the league, I would prefer Liverpool win the league. You know what I mean? They've been running things right now. Hopefully they don't keep running it and they keep having the diarrhea settings and it just keeps falling down. Do you know what I mean? Like the Kanye West song. When it all falls down. But yeah, Tottenham 4-0 winners. Great for Tottenham. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. James Maddison with 2 goals. Then Brennan Johnson off the bench scoring. I couldn't even remember the third scorer. I can't even remember who the third scorer was. But yeah, all of that. 4-0 win at City's ground as well. Insane in the membrane indeed. Southampton, losing against Liverpool. Salah scoring late on with the pen to give Liverpool the win. Didn't watch the game, but it's a good result for Liverpool. They extend their lead to the top of the table, 8 points now. They seem to be in cruise control at this point in time. They're just cruising like the Will Smith song. You know what I mean? Well, baby, I don't care. Long as take me there. Somewhere to clear my mind. Just cruising. You know what I mean? Liverpool are in cruise control right now. And listen, if we don't win the league, as I said, I prefer them to win the league over anyone else. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, fuck City, and it's as simple as that. So next team, Ipswich and Man United 1-1. Yeah, I mean, Ruben Amorim's first game in charge. They didn't obviously get the win that they wanted to win. Good assist from Ahmad to set obviously Rashford up to score. And then Ipswich Town scores with a shot that was deflected in from a header that went over Onana. Good one from Ipswich Town, staying in the game and keeping Man United at bay. You know what I mean? Sitting at the dock of the bay, like the song. Sitting at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll in. And they were. So Ipswich getting a well-deserved draw against United. They beat Tottenham last week and they get a draw against United. So it's very, very good run for them against some top sides. So congratulations to them. And cool. Well, we're going to move forward now to predict match day 13. You know what I mean? So for the games that are happening the 29th of November onwards and all the weekends, obviously Saturday 30th November and the 31st, and obviously the Monday as well if there's a game on the Monday too. So let's get into them. Brighton versus Southampton. This is a Friday game at 8 p.m. I'm going to go for a Brighton win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brighton win. Wolves versus Bournemouth. I'm going to go for Wolves winning this one. I think it'd probably be a tight affair. I mean, they're a bit on form, but I think Bournemouth will probably be a bit stubborn in that game to make it very difficult for them to beat. That's a Saturday game, by the way, at 3 p.m. I would predict a 2-1 win to Wolves. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. I'm going to go for... Newcastle are a bit dodgy away from home at times. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to go for a draw in this one. 1-1. Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich Town. I think Nottingham Forest will probably need to bounce back in this one. They obviously lost the last game, so they would want to bounce back from the 3-0 defeat against Arsenal. I would see them winning this game, to be honest, because I think Ipswich Town are a bit of a... Yeah, I would go Nottingham Forest for this one. I think 2-1 Nottingham Forest. Brentford versus Leicester City. I'm gonna go for Brentford. Do I see Leicester even scoring? I don't know, to be honest. 2-0 Brentford, I'm going to go for. West Ham versus Arsenal. This is a 5:30 game in West Ham's ground. We should beat them, to be honest. Doesn't matter. Lopetegui is all over the place as a manager, really, at this period of time. He's doing shit, and we should capitalise on this. So I'm predicting Arsenal should win this one. I think West Ham would score, because I think they would have to be up for this game. I expect them to come out and try their thing, but I think we would have enough to just win this game. I'm going to go for a high scoring game to us because I think they'll want to rise against us. So I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal. So West Ham 2, Arsenal 3. That's what I'm going to go for. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. It's a good game. It's on Sunday as well. A 1:30 kickoff. I'm going to go for... This is a tough one to call, to be honest. Chelsea is at home. You'd favour them at home, to be honest. Aston Villa don't really do great away, do they? Yeah, I'll edge it Chelsea, to be honest. 3-1 Chelsea. 3-1 Chelsea. Tottenham versus Fulham. This is a 1:30 kickoff, again on Sunday. It's just like Tottenham to win that game against Man City and go and bottle it in the next game. I think they probably would have enough just to get over the line. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Fulham. No, it's not Fulham. 2-1 Tottenham win. Part of my instincts thought Fulham would win, but I'd love it if Fulham beat them. But I'd love it. But we wait and see. But I think Tottenham will have enough to win this game. They're at home. The crowd should be up for it. I think Tottenham will get a 2-1 win. Man United, Everton. I'm going to go for... Yeah, United should bounce and win this game, to be honest. Man United at home. Ruben Amorim's first game at home. They should win this one. 2-0 Man United. Liverpool versus Man City. This is one of the games of the weekend, to be honest. Some tasty games on the weekend. The Chelsea game's a tasty one. You know what I mean? So big tasty games, man. Big tasties. So um I'm gonna go for this is a 4 p.m. kickoff, by the way. I'm gonna go for Liverpool if they win this one, extend their lead even more at the top. And you could probably say Man City probably effectively may be out of that title race by that period of time. Because Man City to catch Liverpool is gonna be a long way to go. You know what I mean? They're 8 points behind them. If they lose this one, then potentially it's I don't see how they're gonna come back, to be honest. And they're usually the king of comebacks, but I think this would be probably a step too far where they're an aging squad now. Certain players aren't really, let's say, doing what they did last season. So they started off not great in the season. Long may it continue as far as I'm concerned. But I do think that I expect them to try and fight here against Liverpool. I expect them to try and get something from this game. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Liverpool, Man City. I think Man City will come out swinging. They'll have to. They'd have to. You know what I mean? They'll have to find some way of getting something from this game. So I'm going to go 2-2. And that's it for my Premier League predictions for match day 13. But what do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts on that? You can put your comments below on that one or keep them to yourself. Cool. With that, we're going to move on now to the to be the champions. So, there we are, match day 5. Let's predict these games. Slavan Bratislava against Milan, which is obviously on tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. I'm going to go for Milan winning this one. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Milan win. Sparta Praha versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico. It's again a 5:45 kickoff. What's terms of times it's telling me here. I'm going to go for Atletico, a 2-1 win. Man City versus Feyenoord. I do expect City to bounce back from this one. It'll probably be a nervy affair, but I think they'll grab a late goal just to kind of give them a bit of foothold. I'm going to go for a 3-1 City win. Barcelona versus Brest. It is on at 8 p.m. I'm going to go for a Barcelona win. Brest have been doing well so far. You know what I mean? They're the Brest, literally. Simply the Brest. Ding, 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 better than all the Brests. You know what I mean? They literally move around like the double D's right now. Do you know what I mean? Brest are. So, I'm going to go for Barcelona winning this one. I think it'd probably be quite a tight one. So I don't think Brest would want to give it up and that. I think they'll put themselves in between and really make sure that Barcelona overrun them. So I still think it'll be a free. Obviously, Brest getting a goal, but I think 3-1 Barcelona. Bayern, PSG. Whoa, it's a tasty game there, isn't it? But it's PSG's different team, not the same team, but still have some players that can hurt. Bayern are probably going to win this one, I think. I'm going to go for a 4-2 Bayern win. I think there could be some goals in this game. 4-2 Bayern win. Inter versus RB Leipzig. I'm going to go for Inter Milan win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Inter win. Young Boys versus Atalanta. I'm going to go for an Atalanta win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Atalanta win. Leverkusen versus RB Salzburg. I'm going to go for a Leverkusen win. 2-0. Sporting Lisbon versus Arsenal. It's a Sporting's ground. Right, this guy Gyökeres, who we should have signed could come to haunt us, to be honest. I think it's going to be a draw. Not going to lie in this one. I think a 1-1 for this game. Zvezda. I always butcher that name, but I don't know if I said that right this time. Stuttgart. It's on Wednesday, 5:45. I'm going to go for Stuttgart. A very tight 1-0 win, Stuttgart. Sturmgratz versus Girona. 2-1 Girona. Aston Villa, Juventus. Ooh, this is one that's a tough one to predict as well. Ooh. Villa at home. Crowd will be up for it. I do see a draw here, though. I do see a draw. 1-1. Monaco versus Benfica. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Benfica win. Right, where was I before that madness that happened? Was PSV Shakhtar? I think I said 1-1. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. That's going to be a really tight game, that is, isn't it? So I'm going to go for Liverpool. This is tough to call, this is. They're missing players, Real Madrid's. Draw. A high scoring draw. 2-2. Celtic versus Club Brugge. Celtic. We're 1-0. Celtic. Bologna versus Lille. Lille. 2-1. 2-1 Lille. Yeah. Dortmund versus Dinamo Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb's at home, by the way. Dortmund would be a touchy one, I think. 2-1 Dortmund. And that's it for my predictions of match day 5 of the Champions League. So that's that. Before we go, just a little touch on AEW Full Gear. Thoroughly enjoyed Full Gear. I think it was good. Best match of the night, obviously. Ospreay versus Carl Fletcher. Thought that was a very good match. For me, that's a 9.2. I'll give that one. I also enjoyed the women's match as well. The TNT Championship match between Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. I thought that was probably the second best match of the night for me. Everything else was generally decent, okay. If there was really a weak match, some of them were probably a bit. I'm trying to think of the weakest match of the night. Or any ones that was on the pre-card and that. Do you know what I mean? The buy-in stuff, yeah. But I think everything else was pretty solid, decent matches. So, yeah. But those were my matches of the night. The women's match and Will Ospreay's versus John Moxley's match was alright, but it was decent, it was good, but it just wasn't, I say, greater than Ospreay's versus Carl Fletcher's match. So overall, the event as a whole, I'll give it an 8.2 Full Gear. So that's what I'm going to give that. And that's my opinion, and that's my thoughts on AEW Full Gear. What are you guys' thoughts on that? What are you guys' thoughts on the Champions League? What are you guys' thoughts on the Premier League? Match day 12 and predictions of 5. You can put your comments below on that one, or you can keep it to yourself. With that, we've come to the end of the podcast. I'd like to big up you guys and thank you guys for watching and checking out this episode. First time listeners, seasoned listeners, big yourselves up. And if you're feeling this episode, you know what to do below all of that. Big yourselves up one time. And yes, till next time, guys. You know we usually do it when we finish. Peace, love, unity, have fun. And you're either all in or clear out.